with this fake electors scheme. Joining me now to break it all down is NBC's Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Dilanian and former U.S. Attorney Harry Litman, the host of Talking Feds podcast. So, Ken, I'll start with you. This is a sprawling investigation. We outlined some of who they have talked to. Do we have any sense of how much investigatory work remains to be done here by the special counsel in this matter?
Not entirely, but it feels like they're getting close to the end here, Garrett. And, we shorthand this as the January 6th investigation, but really Smith was tasked with investigating any potential violations of law regarding an effort to thwart the lawful transfer of power. That's the language of the order. And what he appears to be doing here is investigating what looks like, from the way they look at it, a conspiracy to disrupt the lawful transfer of power, not only with the January 6th attack, but with this scheme to have false electors say that Donald Trump won the election, to raise money around that. The list of witnesses that our colleague Ryan Riley has reported have testified and have talked to the prosecution ranges from Mike Pence to Secret Service agents to state officials.
Newt Gingrich was one of them, apparently.
So it's a really far-reaching investigation. It remains to be seen what they do with it, but they are clearly pursuing this case vigorously.
I'm trying to drop the January 6th investigation language from any time I report on this because it's clear it is so much broader than that. And Harry, the witnesses indicate that the special counsel, as Ken was pointing out, is focused on this idea of the fake electors scheme. 84 fake electors, 7 swing states, all signed some kind of documents falsely declaring that Donald Trump was the winner in 2020. To make a criminal case out of that, what would Jack Smith need to prove to either indict or actually secure convictions related to that effort?
It would be a conspiracy, and what it would mean is just everybody agrees to do something unlawful, and that is to submit these false electors, and then they do one thing to further it, which is easy to prove. But what's really noteworthy about this is, and we learn about dribs and drabs, but you put it all together, it begins to seem oceanic. So here in particular, the false electors, which I think is the charge he's readying to bring, starts with people in state, state officials, some of whom may get immunity, but goes definitely, we've learned in the last week or two, really to Trump's inner circle, including the director of elections and Rudy Giuliani, who were orchestrating the whole thing and probably in direct communication with Trump. So that's what's impressive to me, the breadth that he's assembled. And to Ken's point, he could be investigating anything and everything. It doesn't mean that he'll bring it right away. This investigation could go on for years. The question is he readying one specific aspect of it? And there are concrete signs, even though, we're a little bit in the dark, that the false elector scheme is coming to market, and it will be broad from state on the ground in states to the Oval Office.
So, Ken, it could go on for years, but there's also kind of a narrow window to land this thing on the calendar to the degree that the DOJ cares about kind of the other things that are out there that could get in the way. There's the Georgia investigation, which could come to fruition in early August, according to some moves that Fani Willis has made on her schedule there, the grand jury schedule down in Georgia. There's a Republican presidential debate coming up at the end of August. And then there's Labor Day, which, DOJ has sometimes looked at as kind of an unofficial campaign kickoff thing. They've been nervous about doing things. Nervous isn't the right word, but they've been hesitant to pursue some things that, as you get closer to elections. How does all that play out in terms of the calendar for the decisions that Jack Smith's trying to make?
Oh, it's huge. No, there's a policy. The closer it gets to an election, the more reluctant they are to take
the higher the bar gets
against particularly a candidate in the election. And they're also looking at the calendar in terms of potential trial. Optimistically, it takes a year for a case like this to go to trial. Of course, it could be delayed well beyond that. But where does that put us? Right in the teeth of the presidential campaign. So it really does feel like while they could investigate for years, they really are forced to finish it up rather soon if they're going to pull the trigger on charges.
You say a case like this, we are wearing out the word unprecedented. I mean, it's so hard to judge even what kind of case we're talking about. Harry, I want to give you the last word on this. There's been a lot of focus on the speech on the ellipse. That was something the January 6th committee, which I covered, was very interested in. How difficult might it be to bring charges related to that? The idea that that was somehow incitement in and of itself, given the First Amendment protections that would be available to what is, at that point, the President of the United States, a political candidate, and someone making obviously political speech.
pretty daunting, and there's a checkered history of bringing that sort of thing. Of course, they already have done insurrection charges with the actual marauders, so it would be odd to not go after the main guy, but they have plenty to deal with. I just want to clarify what I'm saying, though, Garrett. I when I say the investigation could go on, I mean other aspects of it,
Sure.
but I agree they're going to try to bring something manageable in the short term. And to the Fulton County point, that grand jury that we know is going to bring the charges, it begins to sit tomorrow. So it really does complicate Smith's timing. You want to be the first there just to be able to jockey and have a sort of pole position. I'm sure he has that in mind as well.